Tonight, we discuss the first crucial responsibility before the new Chief Justice. Reports indicate that a petition has reached the President's desk for the removal of Mrs. Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the EC, and her deputies. The petition sounds and feels similar to the one that eventually removed Charlotte Osei, given, as they say, that is coming from a staff member of the EC. Well, there are rumors that supporters of Charlotte Osei believe that she should be reappointed if this petition against Jean Mensah is successful, according and pursuant to the reset agenda. There are also rumors of heavy lobbying by Dr. Emmanuel Akwete of IDEC. It is believed that Dr. Akwete may have been considered by President Akufo-Addo after the Charlotte Osei removal, but deep throats within the MPP at the time alleged that Dr. Akwete was an NDC sympathizer. We look at the details with lawyer Eje Bafo, who is also a member of parliament for Menchia South. Lawyer Bafo will examine the NDC's decision to bring back the public tribunal system. Should we be worried? They say they are bringing back the public tribunal system to catch galamseyers only. Also, as they sing London Forever. Arsenal is poised for a big lead in the EPL by Christmas and hopefully win the title in May. But later tonight, Harry Kane will be happy to revenge the Tottenham defeat last Sunday as he leads Bayern Munich to the Emirates Stadium in a Champions League game. Will Arsenal be able to sing their song again? Join Kanija on the touchscreen with me as we analyze the game. London Forever. Tonight, we discuss the first crucial responsibility before the new Chief Justice. Reports indicate that a petition has reached the President's desk for the removal of Mrs. Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the EC, and her deputies. The petition sounds and feels similar to the one that eventually removed Charlotte Osei, given, as they say, that is coming from a staff member of the EC. Well, there are rumors that supporters of Charlotte Osei believe that she should be reappointed if this petition against Jean Mensah is successful, according and pursuant to the reset agenda. There are also rumors of heavy lobbying by Dr. Emmanuel Akwete of IDEC. It is believed that Dr. Akwete may have been considered by President Akufo-Addo after the Charlotte Osei removal, but deep throats within the MPP at the time alleged that Dr. Akwete was an NDC sympathizer. We look at the details with lawyer Eje Bafo, who is also a member of parliament for Menchia South. Lawyer Bafo will examine the NDC's decision to bring back the public tribunal system. Should we be worried? They say they are bringing back the public tribunal system to catch galamseyers only. Also, as they sing London Forever. Arsenal is poised for a big lead in the EPL by Christmas and hopefully win the title in May. But later tonight, Harry Kane will be happy to revenge the Tottenham defeat last Sunday as he leads Bayern Munich to the Emirates Stadium in a Champions League game. Will Arsenal be able to sing their song again? Join Kanija on the touchscreen with me as we analyze the game. London Forever. Tonight, we discuss the first crucial responsibility before the new Chief Justice. Reports indicate that a petition has reached the President's desk for the removal of Mrs. Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the EC, and her deputies. The petition sounds and feels similar to the one that eventually removed Charlotte Osei, given, as they say, that is coming from a staff member of the EC. Well, there are rumors that supporters of Charlotte Osei believe that she should be reappointed if this petition against Jean Mensah is successful, according and pursuant to the reset agenda. There are also rumors of heavy lobbying by Dr. Emmanuel Akwete of IDEC. It is believed that Dr. Akwete may have been considered by President Akufo-Addo after the Charlotte Osei removal, but deep throats within the MPP at the time alleged that Dr. Akwete was an NDC sympathizer. We look at the details with lawyer Eje Bafo, who is also a member of parliament for Menchia South. Lawyer Bafo will examine the NDC's decision to bring back the public tribunal system. Should we be worried? They say they are bringing back the public tribunal system to catch galamseyers only. Also, as they sing London Forever. Arsenal is poised for a big lead in the EPL by Christmas and hopefully win the title in May. But later tonight, Harry Kane will be happy to revenge the Tottenham defeat last Sunday as he leads Bayern Munich to the Emirates Stadium in a Champions League game. Will Arsenal be able to sing their song again? Join Kanija on the touchscreen with me as we analyze the game. London Forever.
Day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school?
Sometimes my tree is really like, it's not good.
More for the clothes.
And see, I have a show, a podcast, morning podcast. I have a show and we invited one person, Councillor Luthertz, to come on it. So when he came on the show, we were talking about different things, and then we talked about our mama here. And now, so instead of Semeka, I said something like Mama Pat does Sikaduro, but I meant to say Gary Sika. So I kind of mixed the tree. So I came here to ask my lovely mommy for forgiveness. That I'm so sorry, mommy, for mistakenly saying what I said. You. Thank you.
Send you one new home and one new master. What kind? The brother for no kind in an say, if you are Koto, a shy. And that yet punishment.
No problem.
Brafwa, you are about a kind and say, I mean, Mommy Moss and I'm in a pet. Now come down into me fire. Was all your program be? Or the Abrantia be a friend councillor Lutrots. As Abrantia and Moon was one of the honor, because some one will come cream. Now, but I wouldn't ban show this sono. Or provoke a kami kun some, Kakama some one some. Emma Branin and in none also. Or no so odimatam, Sagrada, Ajisica Duru. And I got a call from the producer. Said they want me to say a member of my program. And I'm so be a Majisica Duru. If you want to prosper, you can't call a Sikaduro on your platform. And a fiancé or beba or about the patcho because on the any man hustle or career, you know, no one known home. So we are nearby a few dog, ever ha, a chowpa, and or the brave yesu, any heavyweight champion, any prophet into a siama, any sonema, any anointing was fear. Our someone enya, a fin and no ebaye, a fear, yes, what was some. I'm so soon. God bless you. Bible says, "You will know the one no kind of bonny. No, we are doing no force on the better." 1 John chapter 9. Was it say a cassie and your bonnia? Here, your truffle. It is a one to bonny a tomb. Now, our banner, a rat or sorrow, and their child. Now, menso, and their child. I love you too. Okay, clap for a fear. Clap for a fear. Clap for a fear or no. Clap for a fear. A fear me bebo no bia ma to na the boy me boma oh say na why afa enya wa eye wurade amen. I want you to dance for me. Let's dance for you. Heavyweight champion. Dance, dance. You are on the Facebook. Give it to me. Hey. Oh, tell me why you found. Hey, yes, na kumaraka. Na ajibio. Oh, Safia, why you found. Suna kumaraka. Oh, Safia, why you found. Ah, hey, hey. Oh, Safia, why. Hey. Hey, yes, I am. Yes, and Yamia was about to pet Yamia, Nasia, Yamia, Yacha, Yamia, hey, Yamia, a sour dog, my whole face, me brofono, hey, I have a dream, hey, she don't go on, hey, Yamia,
So let's go to yesterday's floods, for instance. We've since received some briefing as to what accounted for the floods in some of the areas, yes. And from the briefing that we have gotten, the worst affected areas were the Ofankor Highway, the Shiashi area, Springtex, as you yourself can attest to, and Palace Mall area. And all of those floods around, the flood around these areas was as a result of the depression in the road, as well as the roadside drains that, you know, had not been functioning well because of, again, siltation, as we know. And we saw in some of your videos the crass behavior of some citizens pouring solid waste into drains, especially when it's raining, with the belief that the rainwaters will carry these solid waste to where? You know, that's the question, to where? You know, and so there's a very complex conundrum with this matter that, yes, we must use the instrument of policy, regulation, enforcement, but also attitudinal and behavioral consistent change, you know, campaigns to ensure that citizens adopt the necessary habits that will inform our behavior, even, you know, before some of these flood situations. The second area that was mostly affected in Greater Accra region was the Lakeside, Ashie, and the environs. And for here, apparently, it's as a result of some individuals who had encroached the Mamahuma drain and filling the dam at Adenta Fulani area. So here again, we have a major problem with clogged drains, which perennially accounts for parts of the flooding, one of the reasons for the flooding that we have. So there's also a newly constructed drain in those areas, which also was heavily choked with solid waste.
In the same lakeside?
Yes, around the lakeside area. So the task force, as we know it, His Excellency put together a task force, and they did an aerial scan of Accra to look at the flood-prone areas, and they are collaborating with various engineers. In fact, the desilting had started in some of the major drains, the Odo being the major project that continues to sit on government books, also because of the project. There's an ongoing IMF project that is looking really at dealing comprehensively with the flood and solid waste management. I think it's the Accra Resilience. I got the name earlier. I think I don't know. Yes, it's a very long. Yes. It's a long name. Gary. The Gary project. So the Ghana Greater Accra Resilient, then an integrated development project. Please, I'll get the name for you. So that project is currently ongoing. But again, I think this is the time to ask ourselves again about what we need. So Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project, which aims to improve the flood risk management and solid waste. And it's even expected to be completed towards next year. But the question is, have we really been able to desilt the Odo drainage, which is one of the objects of the project? We know that a lot of money was pumped into the sanitation sector in the last administration, but obviously there remains quite a lot of work to be done. If you ask me, how do we find a comprehensive solution to this perennial problem of flooding within the Greater Accra region? You would recall that as a long-term measure, His Excellency was at the Dodowa Park, I think on Friday that it was, during the thank you tour for the Greater Accra region, where he gave indications, strong indications, said again, about the prospects of moving the capital to, another location, just as we will be able to decongest Accra. Accra is obviously decongested. And if you look at the fast and rapid urbanization that, we are experiencing in most of our major capitals, Greater Accra region, Ashanti region, Western region, even Tamale, which is described as the fastest developing metropolis within the sub-region, you obviously know that it comes with problems with land use and problems with social service and access to those social services.
So Article 58 of the Constitution says all executive power
and the things of God, the college does hereby confer upon Reverend Evangelist Mrs. Patricia Esiema, Doctor of Philosophy in Philanthropic Management. Nice. Together with all the honors, right, and privilege pertaining thereto, in witness thereof, this certificate is conferred bearing the seal of the college and the signature of the officers. Therefore, by the power vested upon me as the Chancellor and the President of this noble college, I conferred upon you, Doctor of Philosophy in Philanthropic Management. Amen.
Wow. Wow. Heavyweight champion. Heavyweight champion. Wave your handkerchief.
And then, the Manian doctorate. This is the second time I have received the doctorate of humanitarian. I received the first one on 2015. Okay. And I am for free UK. And no enemy, Reverend Doctor. The family Reverend and the doctor. Now anybody bring the doctor no assay. And at 2024, and at the same abasobody Yasign amame dia to so me no me. Wait chira say Bible say ye ya chechire wasase so no nka. Na ya chechire so. Opon me ne ye ne me bibie mo no. Say yetimi aboma agbasobode eye atoye ani mobrohu agbasobode empre no a. Menim say atoye nti heaven menye biako. Amen. Some Jesus. So I thank my husband, Prophet Angel Esiama. Bema wechina mechi arewomo enichemu eradi shirano. Heavyweight asafo.
Yes. So we just display armor cars on an Independence Day and we go and park the armor cars at the barracks. Why don't you move those tankers to the Galamsey sites and fire in the Galamsey areas? And create the military presence. These people, they have been trained to survive in the jungle. Let them live there for the next 6 months. Galamsey will stop. Not a soul will come and dig anything there again. But we have polished the tankers and we are keeping them in the barracks and we say that Galamsey, they ever stop here. And meanwhile, they are poisoning us. Our waters are being poisoned. Every day we are dying of poisonous water and we are spending millions to treat the waters. Garden eggs, cassava, we are using chemically polluted water to water cotombre. Very soon the cotombre that your wife will serve you, there are chemicals in it. If the people are being stubborn, move troop. Let's show on TV trucks, armored cars, because we don't go to war. All those trucks, they don't go to war. When was the last time we went to war? When was the last time Ghana went to war? We don't go to war with it. But there is war against Galamsey. People are killing the citizens. 33 million lives are at risk. So move the tankers there and keep the army at all the Galamsey sites for the next 6 months. They shouldn't go home. They should there. It's peacekeeping mission. We are every Independence Day. Then we come. That's right. Then they show army people tossing and jumping and whatever, and they're cocking guns. It doesn't mean anything to us when a group of boys and Chinese people have traveled from their country and they are poisoning our water. Where do the Chinese come from? They are coming to our immigration officers and then the annoying part is that they are carrying guns and they are giving birth to children. They are sleeping with our girls at the side and having half-caste Chinese people. You see, somebody has put poison in this water. And this is a killer liquid. He says that I want you to drink it. And I have a gun to stop this person who's poisoning this woman. And I'm looking at myself, before we can stop this guy from poisoning this woman, it is me and you. You who have the gun. Our waters is spoiling. Government is spending millions of dollars to treat. And the water is gradually becoming untreatable. It means that very soon we have to start importing water from other countries. That's what it means. And we have the capacity and the ability to stop it. We have the capacity to stop it. Move the military, move the tankers to position themselves in all the Galamsey sites and stop all forms of mining for now, for the next 6 months, so that our waters return back. And then decide who mines, and they must mine responsibly. They want us to start dropping dead on the street before they wake up.
So Article 58 of the Constitution says all executive power shall be vested in the president.
Yeah, what does history say why it took expression in the Constitution?
Oh, well, I mean, we have come from that background as a country. The 1960 Constitution was very authoritarian, and it created a lot of power in the hands of the president. And we were not doing a Republican constitution before. We're doing the British style, which is what I recommend for many African countries, because inherent in the British parliamentary system is the firm ground of accountability. The British parliamentary system provides a lot of accountability. The Prime Minister is in Parliament. You can ask him any question. And I made this presentation before the Constitution Review Committee, the Mills one. I've showed that video on television, where I appeared before the Constitution Review Committee and told them that if we don't have the British parliamentary system and we can't create accountability, we should yet create a presidential question time for the president of Ghana. He ought not to come to Parliament just once to give the sessional address and nobody asks him any question and he's gone. They are ministerial question time, but it's important, if we want to balance the scale, to create that accountability, to have the president more regularly visit Parliament on a presidential question time. And I gave the examples then to the committee. In those days, the example also about Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, that we have been in Ghana and we have heard of a guard room in the castle where they shave people's hair. We will never get to know the truth because you can't ask the president. If it was in the British parliamentary system, he will come to parliament and they will ask, Mr. President, is there so and so there? And it creates that accountability. Now, it will be obvious that the accountability that system gave was great. And that is why successive African leaders in the 60s, who all became despots, took away that system and created a presidential system where power resides in their hands. And so in the Second Republic, Ghana went back to that system. And somehow the coup came, it didn't work. And then in the Third Republic, they decided that they're going full presidential system. In the Fourth Republic, they obviously didn't want, and I've read I report it in the book, the Constitution Review, the work that was done by Dr. S.K.B. Asante in recommending what kind of constitution. It was obvious that the PNDC was not interested in presenting Flight Lieutenant Rawlings with either a British parliamentary system or even the French system, which generates a bit of accountability. What the French system also does, what might be good for us, is proportional representation. That may also be very good for us because in proportional representation, you will never have a useless political party. And that's why Julius Malema thrives in South Africa. If South Africa were operating our constitution, they couldn't have created a Julius Malema. Proportional representation is that you go to the election and you get 2% of the votes. If you get 2% of the votes, you have 2% of parliament. You nominate people for parliament. Nobody goes for parliamentary election. They don't vote for MPs. The parties choose their MPs. So when you are running the election and you know that the people of Ghana like Kojo Brace, and then you tell them that if I win the election, Kojo Brace will go to parliament. So you are in parliament because you are representing the percentage that the party won. That's how it is in the proportional. That's why it's called proportional representation. So you win 10% of the vote, you have 10% of parliament. So Alan Shamati will go into the election, hope that he gets 5% of the vote, he has 5% of parliament, he nominates himself. And then he's in parliament. That's how Julius Malema is over there. So he brings in the economic freedom fighters, sets up a political party called Economic Freedom Fighters in Soweto. Then he goes into the election. He has 15%. So he has 15% of parliament. So he's there. And Jacob Zuma is there. And he can throw punches at him. And that also creates a sense of a bit of accountability. When the constitution started, we always had at least 10% of members of parliament being from the smaller parties. Yeah. By the last election of 2016, all of it had evaporated. CPP, the greatest political party in Ghana that won independence for Ghana, cannot afford a single member in parliament. And that's dangerous. So proportional representation also works. It's important for us to look at our constitution and see what will work for the development of democracy. So far, the constitution has done very well in establishing the democracy. And I think that's a good step. And in establishing important institutions of the democracy, like the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. I think that's also very important. But we now have to get to the stage where we can make accountability very important, because the complaints of people are politicians are chopping money and all of that. Transparency, very, very important. Until we get accountability and transparency together, our constitution may not live the life that we expect it to, because over 35 years, it has done what it should do. It has established a very powerful Supreme Court. We're here to see how the 9th Parliament Supreme Court will work. It has established a parliament that we all can now agree that does its work. We probably may need different kinds of people there, but that's another conversation. But the parliament works, the speaker works, everything works in the parliament. If you are a minister and you sign a document that is an international document, you don't go to parliament, it's a problem. It wasn't a problem in 1996, but it was always in the constitution. But now it's a problem. So parliament has grown. The growth of parliament and the effectiveness of parliament has become very paramount to our constitution. So that has been achieved. Now we need to achieve transparency and accountability. Otherwise, we are in trouble.
Which of the parliaments has your full attention? Which one do you like so far?
Oh, I mean, the second parliament, I think, was the best. I mean, people can debate that, but I covered it.
It had and the likes, right?
Yes, and it had Justice D.F. Annan. Yes. I mean, the second parliament was a real good one. The MPP had a mighty minority like they have now. And I mean, my best story from that parliament, which I record in the book, is one afternoon when we were summoned. Those days, they didn't used to do afternoon sittings that often. But one afternoon, 3 o'clock, we were summoned as a press corps to come to the chamber because the speaker was going to meet the parliament. It was about a publication. It was about an application by Hackman Usu-Ajeman that Chronicle had published, that the president had received a bribe from the Nigerian president, and that he was the ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and he thought that Parliament should have a discussion on that. And those days, I mean, it wasn't simple to even mention the name Rawlings, let alone suggest that he had taken a bribe. and that you wanted the conversation in Parliament. And so the Speaker called and he arranged the Parliament and said, well, honourable members, Hackman Owusu-Agyeman has a question here. He wants Parliament to discuss the issues in the newspaper. The NDC view of the matter is that Parliament cannot be following tabloid newspapers and discussing it. And
a very good evening to you and welcome to Good Evening Ghana. Thank you very much for your time. Wonders shall never end, they say. Chelsea are 3-0 up against Barcelona. The Catalans at the Stamford Bridge, featuring Lamine Yamal. So that's the big story in football. In Ghana, there's also a lot of wonders going on because Manasseh Azuri, the famous investigative journalist, currently based in the United States, former editor of the Fourth Estate and former staff of Joy FM, Manasseh is fighting Kisi Ajabe in the office of the special prosecutor. And as somebody saw me in traffic today and said, "What do you concern, Musa? Your people are fighting." I said, "Which people?" He said, "Your people, they are fighting. What do you concern, Musa?" Well, I think a lot more will be said by other people who are looking at it, but suffice it to just wonder why Manasseh is fighting a state institution about the time that they began their investigations. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how a journalist would know the time that the Office of State began their investigations on the matter. Let me just go on to the touch screen. Well, let me announce to you that later tonight, Lawyer Bafo will join us. AJ Bafo, Lawyer AJ Bafo, will join us tonight. He's a member of Parliament for Menchia South, and he will be joining us tonight on two important issues. The petition before the president to remove the Electoral Commissioner. Have you seen it? There's a petition before the president to remove the Electoral Commissioner. Thankfully, the petitioner granted an interview to Obi of Asempa. You know, that's the program I'm always monitoring. And so I monitored the program and I heard him. For those of you who did not hear the program, I'll share with you what the petitioner in the Jean Mensah petition said to Asempa FM on a Kosi Sign program, I believe 2 days ago or yesterday. We'll look at that. Lawyer Jebafo would also tell us about the public tribunal system. Most of you may not be able to relate to it, but there's something, a trial system that was part of the revolutionary policy rollout that allowed people to be tried in the courts with a panel that were not altogether lawyers. There was one lawyer, two other people from the civil service, etc., etc. I've been combing through my stuff to look for a tape where Professor Edubuahi and Kwesi Pratt Jr. were standing trial at the public tribunal. I've actually told Kwesi Pratt I'll get him the video. I didn't finish before the start of the program. Today turned out to be a very busy day, so I didn't quite finish. So I still don't have the video. I'll share the video on the social media page soon, and perhaps by next week Tuesday when I come back, I'll have the video for you. But Lawyer Bafo will take us through how the public tribunal system works. Is this something that we should bring back into our justice delivery system? And we're going to be looking at that in detail. And then on that day of 2000, very important people, they will be joining me in the studio, and we are going to be singing Happy Are We. And we're going to be singing Illuminate to be the beamos lumen in the light, the light. Many of the Presec songs are really beautiful, and we'll be singing a bit of that. So let's get onto the touch screen now. Let's begin with the a gentleman who also sent a text. A gentleman who is a viewer of the show permits me to rise out of my seat now and get straight over to Wetin has concerned Musa. That's what they put here. Wetin concern Musa. As a gentleman who has been watching our show, and he was watching on the day I did the editorial with a video from Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, if you remember, and he wrote something. But what's he concerned Musa tonight? Manasseh Azuri says that he is telling the world the time that the investigation of SML began. Kisi Ajabe is telling him that, oh, hold it, my brother, hold it. Don't think too much of yourself. Don't exaggerate who you are. Don't exaggerate it. Hold it. the fact that you supported us at some part of the investigation, it doesn't mean that that's the time we started. But that's a quarrel between the two honorable gentlemen. Manasseh here says that, oh, Kisi, you didn't start the investigation early at all. You didn't start it early. You started it by November, you hadn't started. Kisi is saying that, how would you even know? You are not a member of our organization. You are not a staff here. You are an important interlocutor that we talk to. You are a person of interest that we speak to. How do you know do we come and tell you when we started? It's the investigator who would know that I began this investigation in January. The investigator can begin the investigation in January. He won't tell anybody. He just will tell his boss. So I don't know how that matter will be resolved. I can't wait for the Saturday programs, the TV3 program and the news file. I can't wait for those programs to come on Saturday to try and resolve this matter. Samson Laddie, good evening to you. Are you there? How are you doing? So this is what it is. Manasseh said, OSP did not request stop list for Ken Ofori-Atta and Esther Corey. But how does he know that? I'm not saying he knows or he doesn't know, but how does he know? And I don't know whether he can say this because Manasseh must come out and say that I have sent an RTI to the airport. I have sent an RTI, and mind you, Akufo-Addo gave Manasseh RTI so that he can make his work faster and better. You know, Akufo-Addo, the MPP president, he gave Manasseh the RTI. Nobody did it. RTI started from John Ajekum Kufuor. Unfortunately, the big man was not able to pass it. It came to Professor Mills, he didn't pass it. It came to John Mahama, he didn't pass it. It came to Akufo-Addo, he passed it. So now we have a Right to Information Act. And so based on that, Manasseh is one of the biggest users of the arts. If you use RTI more than Manasseh and Suleiman Brahma, then you are a Barcelona fan tonight. The two of them use RTI more than anyone else. Manasseh and Suleiman Brahma, RTI. Akufo-Addo made it for them. They should be happy to congratulate Minister Oppong Nkrumah, because I remember how Oppong Nkrumah, as Deputy Minister for Information and as Minister for Information, was championing this RTI. I've met him at Jubilee House several times, quarreling with all the people that you guys, you have to pass this thing. This thing you are telling the president, you have to pass it. Oppong Nkrumah was fighting for this. I remember. So Manasseh, if you have Thanksgiving and gratitude, please go and look for Minister Oppong Nkrumah. Christmas is coming. He has a constituency in Ofuasia Irebi. Buy him goats, 16 goats and something, and I'm going to give it to him. Because as a result of Oppong Nkrumah championing this MPP-led Freedom of Information Act, which makes Ghana a very modern society and which is a major step towards anti-corruption. It was Akufo-Addo that passed it, you see. So Manasseh benefits from it. So Manasseh comes and says that Kisi Agyabeng did not request stop list for Ofori-Atta. I'm not saying, I don't know whether what he's saying is true or it's not true, but I'm saying you cannot just say it like that. He has to back it with something. He has to say that I have used RTI to access information from customs, immigration people. I have accessed information from national security. I have accessed information from the Ghana Air Force. And all of them say that nothing like that happened. It's only then that you can say that. But if Kisi Agyabeng is asking to stop Mr. X and Mr. Y, is he going to tell Manasseh? I don't know. But as they say, what's he concern, Musa? Then Kisi Agyabeng too says that you, Manasseh, your commentary appears to reflect a dissatisfaction with a successful criminal investigation that has already led to the filing of 78 criminal charges and the cancellation of SML contracts. Kisi Agyabeng, special prosecutor, to Manasseh Azuri Awuni. I should have told my producer, I forgot. I don't know whether you can find it. At the tail end of Kisi's press conference the other day, he thanked Manasseh Azuri. He mentioned his name and said, oh, Manasseh, thank you very much for doing this investigation. So you would have thought that as far as the SML investigation is concerned, the two of them are friends, bedfellows and twins. But now Kisi comes and says, but Manasseh, I don't understand you. We have done this investigation. We have filed 78 charges. It looks like you are not happy with something. What are you not happy about? How else do you want an investigation authority to do? They have filed 78 charges. Kisi is suggesting to Manasseh that Manasseh is full of himself. He thinks that because somebody was in charge, Manasseh started complaining, you remember, that, what do you call it? Edusei, the SML guy, nice man, that Edusei has not been charged, and Manasseh was worried. Some lawyers also analyzed that Kisi didn't charge the SML person, but SML itself was charged. SML is already in court. They are fighting Kisi on all fronts. They are in Shiraj. They are fighting. They are already in court. So SML as a company has been charged.
I'm guessing, and I think Manasseh mentioned it, that he wasn't happy that Edusei, the man himself, they didn't hold his hand. He wants Edusei's hand held. And I think Kisi Ajagbin is saying that we don't do that. We have done our work. And they have done, they said they have filed 78 charges. So Kisi is being sarcastic over here. He's asking Manasseh that, how can you be dissatisfied with such an investigation that has led to the president cancelling SML contract? How can you be dissatisfied with it? Very interesting. What do? We just sit back and watch. We don't have anything to do. So as they say, give me what you concern, Musa, let me end with it. As they say, and I think a lot more is going to come, a whole lot more is going to come on this matter. About the court case, why some judge has to be replaced, what is the judge's relationship with another, for which reason she has to be replaced, what is her relationship with another, for which reason she is unsuitable to umpire a matter that involves the office of the special prosecutor, what is the judge's relationship with another, for which reason, all kinds of things. No, let's show them this yet. It will come. You leave this one. It will come. We are delving into it in some sufficient detail so that we don't come and just talk. We can come and say this and that. So all of those things are there. But all what is happening, whether Manasseh is right, whether it's Kisi Ajagbin is right, for us here, waiting concerned Musa. We are doing our work. Hallelujah be to the rest. What do they say in the people who pray in the morning? The Nigerian man who came here recently, they say, what God can do, nobody can do, or something like that. Something. What exists, only God can do it. So they have something they say. What God can do. Please, viewers, those of you who know it, send a text message to my phone. The people, Eze, not the footballer. There's a footballer who plays Eze, who scored a lot of goals at the weekend. Not him. Jerry Eze, he says, what God can do, only he can do. What God cannot do, what God cannot do does not exist, or something like that. Something like that. So when you write what he concern Musa, then you add that one. What God can do, only God can do. Those things. You can add it, and then we move on, yeah? All right, 15 minutes at the top of the hour. Now, let me introduce another worrying topic before Balfour comes in and before Presec comes in. This is another very worrying conversation. We had heard from Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the eternal General Secretary of the NDC, but who is today chairman, and who is the presumptuous presidential candidate for the National Democratic Congress for the next election. Now, Johnson Asiedu Nketia had told us that Madam Mrs. Jean Mensah will be fired, or something like that, or that she should be fired from her job. So we've heard that. But now, information just comes in yesterday that a staff of the Electoral Commission has petitioned President Mahama for the removal of Jean Mensah, the chairperson, and Deputy Professor Bosman Asare, formerly of the Department of Political Science, University of Ghana, and the other deputy, that all of them should be removed. We are going to share with you the rumor status behind the story and who is making it and all of that. But and then who wants the job and who is lobbying for what. We're going to share that with you. We told you in our promo, didn't we? We'll share that with you. But now, let's go to Asempa FM. And with the kind permission of Obi Amponsan, the barrister, let's listen to what the petitioner in question told Obi on the Asempa radio. Very interesting interview. And then we'll come back and analyze it. Let's listen to that interview.
The petitioner, Nipa, or the petitioner, president, said, only Electoral Commission chairperson, the two deputies. Now you over Joseph Blankson. Mr. Blankson, akwa ko si saying so ni apom te saying.
Boko.
Yeah, danyamia say. Media report extreme one we staff of the Electoral Commission me pacho no kre.
No kre pa.
Oh. Why adwuma we yisi ho ache?
Since 2012 January.
Since January 2012.
Yes.
Hey. As what watch pa in the headquarters one as our region and our district be
no headquarters.
Hey, headquarters was the only easy chairperson deputies in Nana wo.
I know headquarters.
And they were tough. We are tough. Ain't he one on such a petition as the Akoma president? Na unyina swan say anti wo say Omampenyin hwe na onyi chairperson and the deputies here in free.
When we say petition there, the open petition, the content in there, you don't disclose it because that is why it's a petition.
Sure, that's true.
According to Article
146.
146,
yes.
Of the 1992 Constitution of the land.
Sure.
Until the content is there, means when disclosed.
Yes.
Yes, but according to public statement that we release here, no, incompetence, chronism, other things also, and you all can see.
Incompetence, cronyism, and Sanyama, you will not so.
But there's into detail to the president now. There is detail, information inside.
Obehu details in your
Obehu details, yes.
Hey, but now that your name is out, do you feel safe?
No, I have even not been to the office for almost 2 years now.
Hey.
Yes, because of our office. And 2 years, 2 years in the court.
Indeed, are you under suspension and I say you were the answer again?
Interdiction.
Oh, an interdiction.
Yes.
For pending further investigations, Anna.
Yes, not pending. Interdiction, no.
Yes.
They mean that national security. I'm almost to make national security for 3 days. Now, and you can put on the 3rd day, no. Mamina or one who say until the bananka. And the Oko easy ho so Oko no the commissioners name members no go see the commissioners is almost name where about. And the one of the staff me tia me mama papa me lawyers and I say Monko national security na mobano or and on the 3rd day number hono and on bahana and on be this lawyers in the count and on union national. And think and mammy who na komba hopanka I will be there for only God knows. Yes, and after that, I'm going to make a court for 1 year. Now, 1 year court, easy lawyer, easy Mami Nankata. Nobody from easy, 8 to the 90 for 1 year. Let's not make a court every month. I'm a court. Mr. Lawyer. And me 1 year now, I'm on back court. I'm need evidence behind it in the and I dead 2 hours 7 to 3 days. And I'm going to change a crap for 6 months. I said, Mamma, that's an argument. I invite me back to the office. None of them 6 months, 1 year. And I'm going to miss you almost. Miss you almost no. Miss you almost no. I won't accept a rate, within that month. But after accepting rate, you are supposed to file your defense. When you can say 6 months, you almost file defense.
I would want to believe, sir, what chronicles Sanyama winning as part of our grounds, right? And I say they are completely different.
Completely different.
But is it also a case of sour grapes? And by sour grapes, I mean, say, on my year or near my said, you can when in you in the yawn into now the actual petition way. Yeah, I get it. But say, yawn intino, what baby beer would the original structural petition is an American?
Yeah, there be and cry.
In this year, still interdiction no and our service still.
Yes.
Now what drew retirement age now we can cry?
Oh, we can do cry. A very young man.
Wow. But young father says Sanka uko fie kakra and maybe you resolve issues no. And yeah, kasi anko wasen akọ back to adwuma wo ye wadwuma. And how the petition we be call?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Wow. Auntie, the other thing would be, sir, now your expectation is, sir, Omanpenyin ever trigger Article 146 process, no, against and clarify. Remember, chairperson and the 2 deputies, and I say 1 deputy.
2 deputies.
2 deputies, Nina.
Yes.
And a chairperson, no?
Aye.
Hey. Those are my opinion, Pamo Mummy and Senina.
That's right.
For incompetence, any cronyism. Cronyism would mean, say, or more, yeah, a bushia, seven and four, Simon.
What the content in India, I'm talking about my bottle. Content in India, or the intense to a man penny and documents now on one answer.
And yes, everything you've stated in that petition, or evidence to back it. Because I don't want to on Safra, and to me, yeah, and to me, Mate. You young swear that's into be any I best about being commobile. Why? Yeah, that's it.
Ghana is getting very interesting, isn't it? So a staff member is the one who has petitioned, and you heard him. He says that he doesn't have sour grapes, but he didn't even include his matter in the petition. But the point that he enumerated, sorry, viewers, the point that he enumerated, I was hoping that because it's a one-sided story, perhaps all the Otarim pattern will lie for the Electoral Commission itself to respond to that conversation. Because here is a gentleman narrating a one-sided story about what had happened to him. I'm not saying it didn't happen to him or that it did happen to him, but in the spirit of Aldi Otarim Patem, here the other side, it's a cardinal principle of adjudication, where if you are listening to a matter, you always must understand that whatever matter has another side, and that you have to hear the other side. Given that the Electoral Commission have not had any say on this matter, in terms of the things the guy said happened, he may be exaggerating. I'm not saying he is. He may not be truthful, etc. I don't know what it is. But I'm just asking viewers that let's not put too much credence on what he said, because it was a one-sided story. We haven't heard the side of the Electoral Commission. But this is him. Now you know who it is. This is him who has sent a petition. We don't know whether he's the only petitioner, but this is the main one that has come to the public knowledge. This is him who has sent a petition for the removal of Madame Jean Mensah from the Electoral Commission. Jean Mensah has conducted 2 successful elections, election 2020 and election 2024. Of course, election 2024 was marred by violence at the end of the process, but that goes really to the police more than to the Electoral Commission in terms of pulling out results and in terms of the candidates who fought the election, understanding whatever votes they got and not challenging significantly anything that happened and getting the earliest concession that we have ever got. And I believe that Jean Mensah has done an excellent job at Electoral Commission. But this is politics, isn't it? And politicians always have connotations about things, and politicians always put people in a political bracket, A and B. And when they put you in a political bracket, they aim to fight you that way. Should the law allow that? Should citizens allow that? Should the Constitution allow that? And then should the interest of fairness be so brutally breached in some of these matters? I don't know. But let's see what the process brings. So there's rumor that supporters of Madame Charlotte Osei here, who was removed from the Electoral Commission by a similar Article 146 process, are saying that if the application against Jean Mensah is successful, President Mahama should reappoint Charlotte Osei. But in that regard, they are not alone. They don't have. It's not going to be a coronation in case the application against Jean Mensah is successful. I sincerely hope that application against Jean Mensah is not successful, because we shouldn't be doing that. But I don't know what's going to happen. And some people say that if the application is successful, then they want Charlotte Osei in there. But Charlotte Osei's coming in there is not going to be a coronation, because there are those who are saying that you should go for a neutral personality. You shouldn't go for Charlotte Osei or any of those who were there. Go for Lovelace Johnson. She's distinguished herself as a Supreme Court judge. She was in the reckoning to become Chief Justice, and she didn't become. And she's still at the Supreme Court, and she has age on her side. She's not yet 70. Send Lovelace Johnson to the Electoral Commission, and let's have for the first time an Electoral Commissioner coming from the Supreme Court. So that lobby is also building up, isn't it? But there's also another huge lobby, and it is for Mr. Dr. Emmanuel Akwete of IDEC. Very brilliant political scientist, and I think he's a development expert as well. Dr. Akwete has been at the forefront of many of the constitutional developments that we've had in Ghana. He has been the one who put together the whole peace conversation during elections. IDEC
Institute of Democratic Governance have done excellent research work in shaping, as a civil society, our constitutional parameters and the way in which we have rolled out our laws, new laws, and all of that. He has had occasions to train members of parliament. So he's really in the thick of affairs. He was actually considered by President Akufo-Addo, as we have been told, for the position of Electoral Commission at the time Jean Mensa came in. The point against him then, I don't know whether it's going to weigh against him now, but the point against him then was that it was said that he was an NDC sympathizer. And so during the Akufo-Addo time, when the NPP were in power, the blue, white, and red, when we are in power, very serious. When the NPP was in power, the blue, white, and red was in power. They said that this man is green umbrella. So Akufo-Addo, don't give that thing to him. I think Akufo-Addo thought about it. I said, oh, but he's a nice man. He speaks well. And I'm sure the Hawks came to him in the night and said, hey, Nana, if you do this, you see what we'll do to you. You are going to give the thing to an NDC man. Then give to a neutral person. Why are you going to give to an NDC man? If you can't give to NPP man and you can't give to NDC man, find a neutral person and give to. I think in the mix of the conversation, Jean Mensa's perceived neutrality, IEA efforts, and all of that sort of won the day. So the lobbyists of Akwete are back on the block. And they are saying that it is because of our party that they didn't give the thing to Dr. Akwete. Now, our party has come to power. Mr. John Mahama, don't move left, right. You have to behave. Don't go anywhere. We are giving the thing to Dr. Emmanuel Akwete of IDEC. Qualification, he's qualified. Paperwork, he has it. Strength, he has it. Age, he has it. Exposure, he has it. Nice man, he has it. So go for Dr. Akwete. Don't shift, whether it's NDC or it's Blue W. We like him like that. NDC is in power. We have the power. We want the power, 57%. We have one executive. We have one legislature. Now we have also the Supreme Court. We have everything. That's what they say. I don't know whether it's true or it's not true. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. This is very, very interesting, isn't it? All right. So Dr. Akwete is also on the cards. Then Lovelace Johnson. Then Charlotte Osei, if, and that's a big if, the removal of Jean Mensa is successful. We are praying and hoping that the removal of Jean Mensa will not be successful. We cannot continue to do that and to attack all the independent institutions of state. Yes. They say Akufo-Addo was removed. Charlotte Osei, what did you say? Charlotte Osei's petition came from her own deputies. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that she should have been removed. The process went through. If Charlotte Osei's removal was wrong, we should bring an end to it. What has Jean Mensa done? NDC won the election. The NDC that says that Jean Mensa is against them. How did they win the election? If Jean Mensa was so against them, and they said that the Electoral Commissioner can change the results and change something, Jean Mensa always said that the Electoral Commissioner cannot change any results. The Electoral Commissioner only receives what people have voted for. There's nothing she can do about it. But we kept hearing Jean Mensa will change the result. If Jean Mensa is there, Jean Mensa, and NDC won the election. How then do you win election and then people still want Jean Mensa to go? Well, I don't know what they're going to do with it. Let me go to the text messages now as I get to Lawyer Bafo now for our main conversation. Fatih, what are people saying so far? Give us some 5 messages and then we get into the conversation.
All right. Thank you, Paul. So, coming from Haj C, she says this government will have to be careful with the way people are going about, petitioning for removal of people in state institutions. If care is not taken, we are setting a serious bad precedent for the future government. Eli Obama from Tamale says, what troubles me is that some young people permit themselves to be used by numerous others in the NDC, but the intriguing aspect of the current situations in Ghana is that, regardless of the duration of NDC's tenure, a day will inevitably come when they will transition to opposition and everyone will be held accountable for their actions. Let's give some time. Nana also says, I'm very sure they are going to petition. A petition will be sent to Parliament or even the court to remove the president himself. It's a shame that the so-called reset is virtually targeting opponents of the government. Ghana is gradually becoming a mockery against the international community. And Nasira says the term you wanted is what God can't do doesn't exist. EBFA says the god of Kenofori Atta is working on them. OSP, Manasseh, etc. Let confusion reign amongst them. And lastly, coming from Samuel Fosubai, says the system of political culture, winner takes all, is devastating all the responsible and vibrant institutions. It has made them dormant and not living up to their maximum operational. The 1992 Constitution needs to be amended to reduce the accumulated executive power rendered to the President. There should be an emergency to check and regulate the Presidency, not to act beyond its limitations. Now back to Paul.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Lawyer, good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
What's your first reaction on the petition to remove Jean Mensah?
Interesting. Interesting. But there's a view I hold. The view is that all these things that are happening, a strong judiciary would serve as some form of restraint on them. If we have a very strong judiciary, some of these things will not happen. It is sad that we've chosen to gradually destroy our democracy this way. And this is the time where, in my view, we need very strong-willed people who should be able to say that, look, let's hasten slowly. The reason is simple. I don't think that Article 146 was added to the Constitution in a vacuum. It is meant to operate. But we need to ask ourselves, in what circumstance is Article 146 supposed to operate? Is it a case that if they, let's say, an Article 144 appointee, right, a justice of the Supreme Court, a justice of the High Court, the Chief Justice, if for some time, for instance, leaves his office lights on without turning it off, would that serve as a ground for his removal? Would that amount to incompetence?
Oh, but that's petty.
That's petty. You might think it is petty. But if we are not careful, that is where we are going to get to. And that is why I started by saying that we need a very strong judiciary. Paul, let me tell you something.
When you say strong, you mean independent?
Very independent-minded judiciary. Very partisan, truly a political judiciary. The reason is that you can amend your constitution as many times as possible. But if you don't have a truly independent judiciary, you are in trouble. You see, the National Reconciliation Commission, in their report, stated something. In their summary, in their executive summary, they acknowledged the interference of the executive in the work of the judiciary. And that because of self-preservation, the judiciary has also, accommodated that kind of interference. And that is destroying the judiciary. And so they recommended that we build a strong, independent judiciary if our democracy is to survive. That was part of the recommendations of the National Reconciliation Commission, which was set up by President Kufuor. I think their conclusion and their observation and recommendation was true then, right? And it's still true today. And it's true because of a lot of things that we are seeing. I bet my bottom dollar that if we have a truly independent judiciary, we wouldn't have been bothered about some of these petitions.
What is the role of the judiciary in a petition like this? It's not just the Lord Chief Justice who makes a decision one way or the other.
That is the judiciary.
Oh, that's what you're referring to as a judiciary.
That is the judiciary. The Lord Chief Justice is the head of the judiciary.
But he's going to make this decision of prima facie in his capacity as Chief Justice, an individual.
He's going to, in his capacity as Chief Justice, he's going to set up a committee.
Yes, he's directed by the Constitution who to put on the committees.
Exactly. and he will set up the committee. So he has a say. He has a say as to who becomes a member of the committee.
Yes, does that matter? Should that matter who becomes a member?
Of course.
Is it not systems that we are running? Is it not constitutional provisions and rules of evidence and straightforward matters that are being discussed at the committee? Why must we have...
If I have a group of people to select from, I determine who I select, right? If I'm very independent-minded and I'm clear in my mind that this, to begin with, shouldn't travel the mile, then of course I can say that there's no prima facie case to begin with.
But why are we setting out from the basis that perhaps the people against whom the petition has come have done no wrong? I'm
not setting off from that footing. I'm setting off from the perspective that we need to tread cautiously. This petitioner, there's a background to him. The petitioner is said to have been made to face some disciplinary proceedings, right? Some complaint has been made against the petitioner to a law enforcement agency. If that is true...
And he's been interdicted.
If that is true, then he is setting off from a bitter...
But he says that his case is not part of the petition. What makes it more complicated?
I agree. His case doesn't have to be part of the petition. But the question is, on what footing is he starting from? Is he being used? Look, we need to tread cautiously. That's all I'm saying. Because if we are not careful, we are weakening institutions of state. And that, for me, is troubling. Because democracy, as we see it, does not operate with the greatest of respect and humility by merely building structures and infrastructure and calling them the offices of certain agencies of state. The persons that hold the office they are the persons that make the democracy what it should be. If we continue in this manner, the security of tenure is then removed. That then makes the people, subservient to higher authority. And therefore, they are not able to operate with the level or degree of independence required for such office. It is not for nothing that such offices are called independent constitutional bodies. They are supposed to be independent. And that is why I am saying that, look, the gatekeepers, truly the gatekeepers in our democracy, is the judiciary.
Somebody will say, Akufo-Addo, you are an MPP member. I like MPP too. Somebody will say that Akufo-Addo did it.
I'll tell you what, if Akufo-Addo did it and it was wrong yesterday, it doesn't make it right today. That is why President Mahama promised us resetting. And so if we are resetting, what kind of resetting are we doing? Are we doing resetting to make it worse or resetting to make it better? I wouldn't want to analyze. This morning I was on a program. I said what I know about the Charlotte Osei removal. You don't have a personal relationship with her.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yes,
that.
I have a personal relationship with her. I said what I know. And you see, without going back to what I said, let us as a nation cast our minds to events even in Parliament during the Committee of Whole, where Madame Charlotte Osei and her deputies met Parliament. What happened there?
What happened?
Before
the removal?
Yes, it was a very...
Before the election?
Yes, it was a very... No, after the elections.
After the election, okay. When she came to report back to Parliament.
When she came to report back to Parliament, I wish you could show the footage.
That's 2017.
2017.
What happened?
There was a very frosty, relationship that was displayed.
Among the two... Among the EC reps who came to Parliament. I remember that.
If you remember that.
They were very hostile to each other.
Very hostile to each other.
Yes,
Subsequent to that, there was a tape that also came out.
Yes.
About the relationship between the deputies.
It had broken down.
It had broken down beyond reconciliation.
Yes.
So I'm happy this matter, we can refresh our memories.
And they were the petitioners against Charlotte.
They were the petitioners.
The deputies.
We should go. We should go and find out, prior to they sending the petition, what had happened. what attempt had been made to have them removed.
The deputies?
So they were provoked. You see, I'm not here to justify anything, but we need to be a nation, as I said, that should interrogate things. I would always defend independent constitutional bodies. I will always defend arms of government. I saw a bit of the J. Rawlings regime. I've seen what has happened around us as a country. Look at Togo, right? The tamperings of the constitution. Look at what is happening there. It starts gradual. The next moment, boom, there is an explosion. Look at what happened in Ivory Coast, right? Look at the whole of French West Africa.
Yeah.
And so I am very careful when we are tampering with parts of the Constitution. I always say that it contains a spirit. If you tamper with it, you tamper with the spirit of the Constitution. And it's just a matter of time. The spirit will depart and it will become a mere document that everyone will trample upon it. Which is why I will always defend the judiciary and encourage them to be independent. Which is why I will always push for an amendment for greater independence of the judiciary, free from the executive interference and control. And I'll also encourage the judiciary that, look, you are our bedrock. This democracy rests on you. Once you are appointed to the Supreme Court, once you are appointed to the Court of Appeal or the High Court, the Chief Justice, nobody can touch you unless another Article 146 procedure starts. If it starts, people will know that it's because you stood on independent grounds. That is why this is happening to you. But we shouldn't become a tool to be used to destroy our democracy. But when Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the popular refrain is that Osagyefo, right, passed the law that made Ghana a one-party state. Is that not the popular refrain?
Yes.
But it was Parliament that passed the law.
Indeed.
And so President Mahama, with the greatest of respect, let's look at the reset you promised. With the greatest of respect to President Mahama, let's look at the reset he promised. Obviously, the reset was on the back of observations that things were not as expected. If things were not as expected, how do we make progress? Look, some people have said that Madam Jane Mensah and her crew, right, are incompetent. Dr. Farijan had been around since 1992, if my memory serves me right. He was part of the Interim Electoral Commission.
Yes, he was.
That was
Deputy Commissioner at the
Deputy Commissioner at the time. That was made up of Nana Oduro Pau and Co.
Justice Ofori
Boateng was the chairman.
Yeah.
He had been there. But even that, after his long experience at the Electoral Commission, what happened in 2012?
Horrendous errors.
So, did we say Dr. Farijan was incompetent because of 2012?
No.
We didn't say that.
But he was about to leave, so he left. And he was...
Good. Now, again, when, after 2012, there were reforms that were put in place, i.e., every party should have a copy of what has become known as the pink sheet, right? And the essence of it is for the compilation of your own results, so that if there is an anomaly, right, there can be verification against that of the EC for the anomaly to be established and corrected possibly, right? When the NDC went to the Supreme Court, what became apparent from the cross-examination, from the examination of Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia by Justice Apau, who is now retired, what became apparent was that the NDC had not done their own compilation. Subsequently, yes, a tape was leaked where Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia was seeking to blame the national chairman at the time, Mr. Ufusu Ampofo. Should we also say that Mr. Asiedu Nketia is incompetent by reason of their default to put together their own pink sheets? Mistakes are human.
Okay.
And so we need to accept that in certain instances, such mistakes may abound. But to the extent that it should lead to the removal of people from office today. Tomorrow, somebody may also not like the height of somebody. And merely because that person said something which he thinks does not align to his position, that person too will say, the EC or some other institutional head should be removed. That is why I am urging caution in this whole matter.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Very, very interesting submission. Now, Ibrahim Cooper, who is writing to me, has something quite interesting to add. He says that OB is Oseibosu, but without Amponsa. So it's OB Amponsa is the comedian. Oh, yes, sorry about that. OB is Oseibosu, yes. Okay, but here is Ibrahim Cooper, who says... Ibrahim Cooper says the fact that the petitioner was on radio means that the petition should be dropped. What do you say about that? I'm trying to get his text in detail too. Yes, this is the text now. Ibrahim Cooper says, it says the decision of the petitioner to speak to Philip Oseibosu, Esquire, aka Obi, on Asempa on the thematic content of his petition, ipso facto, breached the Article 1468 of the 1992 Constitution and the Frank Ejechum and Britakwiti ruling. Consequently, he says, the petition becomes moot and it must be dismissed. Also, he says the petition, which will be forwarded to the Chief Justice to ascertain whether it established a prima facie case, would be a test case to determine the fidelity and independence of the new Chief Justice, Bafo-Boni. I will not put in too much pressure on Bafo-Boni that if he comes back and says that the prima facie has been found, then we will assume that he is being political. And if he comes and says prima facie has not been found, then we'll assume that he's been independent.
I think the prejudice is derived from commentaries that had preceded the filing of this petition. Commentaries by Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, which is of public notoriety. Commentaries by the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC and some other persons within the NDC. And so those commentaries, have become the inspiration for this prejudice. And so this is where the problem is. And that is why we have to be very careful what we say in the public domain as political actors.
Okay. Fatih, do you have some text messages for us on this one? And then now we're going on to the touch screen to deal with the public tribunal.
So, comment from Eli Obama, it says, kindly greet Lawyer Bafo for me, my distinguished member of parliament on my behalf. He commands great respect from Ghanaians, including a considerable number of we the NPP supporters. Continue your good works for country and party. Yalfabre says, the current EC is the most transparent and carefully guided with appropriation of funds. And also looking at the staff members they've been working with, it will be very difficult for a suspended staff member of the EC to petition the president for the removal of Madam Jane Mensah and her deputies on the account of cronyism and incompetence, if not for the predetermined agenda of the NDC government for the removal of the three heads of the EC. Any serious and unbiased government would have rejected the said petition. Nana also says, lawyer, the current judicial architecture of Ghana is currently under comatose under the NDC's supervision called the Reset Agenda. If the ECOWAS court awarded $10 million to the former CJ plus other compensations, the conscience of the nation will be awakened, leading the youth to take a stance and be counted. Interesting times ahead. Afoyaba says, may the good Lord forgive us for voting against the NPP and Nana Addo's government. And lastly, coming from EB Ofe, says, if Charlotte Osei is reinstated, then her ladyship, the legitimate Chief Justice Tokono, can and will be reinstated in the future. Go ahead, John.
All right, over to the touch screen, but before then, the promo.
Tonight, we discuss the first crucial responsibility before the new Chief Justice. Reports indicate that a petition has reached the President's desk for the removal of Mrs. Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the EC, and her deputies. The petition sounds and feels similar to the one that eventually removed Charlotte Osei, given, as they say, that is coming from a staff member of the EC. Well, there are rumors that supporters of Charlotte Osei believe that she should be reappointed if this petition against Jean Mensah is successful, according and pursuant to the reset agenda. There are also rumors of heavy lobbying by Dr. Emmanuel Akwete of IDEC. It is believed that Dr. Akwete may have been considered by President Akufo-Addo after the Charlotte Osei removal, but deep throats within the MPP at the time alleged that Dr. Akwete was an NDC sympathizer. We look at the details with lawyer Eje Bafo, who is also a member of parliament for Menchia South. Lawyer Bafo will examine the NDC's decision to bring back the public tribunal system. Should we be worried? They say they are bringing back the public tribunal system to catch galamseyers only. Also, as they sing London Forever. Arsenal is poised for a big lead in the EPL by Christmas and hopefully win the title in May. But later tonight, Harry Kane will be happy to revenge the Tottenham defeat last Sunday as he leads Bayern Munich to the Emirates Stadium in a Champions League game. Will Arsenal be able to sing their song again? Join Kanija on the touchscreen with me as we analyze the game. London Forever. All right, so later on, Kanija will join us. Oh, Daddy, are you there? We're going to deal with it. Okay. Lawyer Bafo is concerned, and his concern is legitimate because we asked him to come and do this. During the vetting, he asked Dominic Ayini, the nominee then, as he then was, nominee for the Attorney General's position. Lawyer Bafo asked him whether the public tribunal conversation in the NDC manifesto was going to see the light of day. During the NDC manifesto, President Mahama promised that what used to be the public tribunal, we're dealing with an audience lawyer tonight who do not really know the history from institutional memory, except those of them who may have read it. But many people don't really know what a public tribunal is. So when you express those concerns at the appointments committee, people didn't quite understand what you were saying. What is the concern? What concern were you drawing attention to?
So the public tribunal system was a parallel, if you like, judicial system that ran side by side the regular courts.
Who introduced it?
It was introduced by President Rawlings
during the Revolution era.
During the Revolution era by a law called PNDC Law 78.
What was it, if you like, what was it intended to cure?
The primary function or objective was to reduce delays in our criminal justice administration, because in their view, because of technicalities, there were delays in our justice delivery system, criminal justice delivery system, as a result of which cases took many years, and some people who they considered criminals were never convicted or sentenced, and for, if you like, were not punished.
Somebody also told me that the role of lawyers as barristers was de-emphasized in public tribunal hearings. How was that?
Because, firstly, they were not so big on the procedure.
They didn't like it.
They didn't like procedure. The fact of interventions by lawyers wasn't much a necessity to them. And so the Ghana Bar Association, for instance, boycotted it.
Okay, lawyers are allowed to appear for clients at public tribunal.
At public tribunal.
But they don't use the procedure of the court.
They don't use the procedure. The rules of evidence were de-emphasized. For instance, you know that for a criminal trial or for any trial, hearsay evidence is not admissible. But there, they would not even...
So somebody can come and say that, I saw you driving a blue car and so, and you have to answer for it.
And you have to answer for it.
At the public tribunal?
At the public
Who was the judge at the public tribunal?
The public tribunal had a lawyer as presiding, as the chairman of the panel.
Is it a judge or just a lawyer?
Just a lawyer.
Any lawyer?
Any lawyer.
Who chooses
a
that
lawyer
chairman?
of not less than 5 years standing.
Not less than 5?
Not less than 5 years standing.
Who chooses that lawyer? Who makes that choice?
Is the PNDC. They had a board. So there was a board of the public tribunals.
The executive?
The executive.
They were choosing the chairman of the tribunal?
So there was a board, a public tribunal board, right, consisting of not less than 5 people and no more than 15 people, constituted by the PNDC. And the chairman of that board was also the chairman of the National Tribunal. So there was a structure.
So who was the chairman? Do you remember anybody?
It was Mr. Ajekum at the time. You know, if my memory serves me right, I think it was Mr. Ajekum at the time. He even was, he appeared before the National Reconciliation Commission.
He was a lawyer?
He was a lawyer.
Okay.
But at any given time, for a hearing, you have 3 members who chair, that is members of the panel. The chairman is a lawyer of not less than 5 years standing at the bar, but the 2 other persons are not lawyers. And that was a basic infringement on the common law justice administration system, because under the common law justice administration system, lawyers adjudicate, justice is dispensed with lawyers deciding on matters of law, judges who are trained lawyers deciding on matters of law. And then you have the jury system where non-lawyers will now determine issues of fact. But even that, it will be after the judge, who is a trained lawyer, has explained the law to them. So he guides them
and directed them.
But in this case, the members of the tribunal who were non-lawyers were not only deciding on issues of fact, but they were also deciding on issues of law. That led to a lot of human rights abuses.
Okay, so what is the life of the tribunal? Then what happened? Then John Kufuor becomes president in 2000, and what happens?
When President Kufuor became president in the year 2000, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo moved a motion in Parliament to amend the Courts Act, which would repeal the lower levels of the tribunal, that is the circuit tribunal and the community tribunals. They became repealed by reason of the Courts Amendment Act of 2002. And at that time, the regional tribunal, because of the transition, the National Tribunal was not made a feature of our constitution.
Okay,
but the regional tribunal was. But it has never been operationalized.
So that was left in the Constitution?
It was still in the Constitution, but it was never operationalized. And I can imagine why it was left in the Constitution. This was a Constitution, very respectfully, that had been the authoring of which, or the promulgation of which, had been supervised by the PNDC, to whom these tribunals were their creation. And so in moving forward, they wanted it to be so much a feature of the new democracy. However, it has never been operationalized for more than 20 years.
Never even in the first 8 years of J.J. Rawlings?
I don't remember.
The first 2 terms of the Constitution?
I don't remember.
Okay, so the lower levels were repealed. So what is being done now? Now that Cabinet has approved. What has Cabinet approved?
Cabinet has approved the reintroduction of the tribunals to deal with Galamsey cases.
So it's going to be at a regional level?
We are not sure. The details are not out. But we need to look at whether or not it is going to be the same feature as the past, or we are going to see a more reformed tribunal.
So is it coming as a creation of courts by the Chief Justice, or is it coming as a decision of the Attorney General? How is it coming?
So when you look at the NDC's manifesto, they said that they were going to operationalize the regional tribunal, which is a feature of the Constitution. And then they would also reintroduce the communities and circuit tribunals. That was the NDC's constitution. Okay. Now, if that is what they intend doing, then, of course, with the reintroduction, it may require the amendment of the Courts Act or a passage of the Tribunals, a new Tribunals Act, which will come with its own set of rules and procedures.
Can the Chief Justice create new courts and call them tribunals?
The Chief Justice may not be able to. When you look at the Constitution of Ghana, the only time the Chief Justice may be able to do any such thing has to do with the creation of divisions of the High Court. And so, for instance, you know, there was the Fast Track High Court, there was Commercial Court, there's the General Jurisdiction Court. They are all divisions of the High Court. But under the Constitution, if there is going to be, yes, the Constitution allows for the creation of district courts, circuit courts, and lower tribunals. These are all features of the PNDC. They are relics of the PNDC. So don't be surprised they are still in the Constitution, because this is a Constitution which was introduced by the PNDC.
Okay. Let's move on and look at the structures of the public tribunal. Take us through it as it existed.
So this is the PNDC Law 78. Tribunals, they were passed by the PNDC Law 78. Now, in terms of structure, whereas the regular courts have the Chief Justice, who has been empowered by the Constitution to administer, see to the day-to-day administration of our courts, the tribunal rather had a board, right, which was responsible for the administration of all public tribunals. It consisted of not less than 5 members and no more than 15 members, right? At least one of whom shall be a lawyer.
Ado Akins was the chairman of the public tribunal.
Ado Akins.
So was from Brazil.
So
Ado Akins.
But when did Ajekum? I think Ajekum chaired.
But this Ado Akins is different from Justice Akins, right?
Yes, I suspect so.
Justice Akins was Attorney General of the SIB.
Of the SIB.
Yes, he was Attorney General at the time. That's Akins.
That's right.
He was in the J.H. Mensa Attorney General.
Akins. He was a judge at the Supreme Court.
He became a
Supreme Court judge.
He was an Attorney General, then became a Supreme Court judge.
Yes.
But I'm saying that he was on the panel. He was in the quorum for the J.H. Mensa Attorney General. And he ruled on Akufo-Addo's side, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ado Akins is the name, viewers. Ado Akins is the name that we're looking for.
No, but the chairman of the tribunals, ask Brazil to also check. Ajekum
appeared before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but I've forgotten in what capacity.
I think he was also a chairman of the tribunals at some point.
Okay, I'm sure we'll find it. Let's go on.
So this is the structure. So whereas you have the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land, the tribunal's own hierarchy had the National Public Tribunals as its highest court. Then you have the regional public tribunals. Then you have the district public tribunals, which was for the districts. And then you also had the community public tribunals, which was for the community.
So that's like the High Court. Community
is just like the...
or is district bigger than community?
District bigger than community.
Okay, so district will be the High Court.
That's right.
So were these civil courts or criminal courts?
They were for criminal justice.
Only? So people cannot sue in a civil action over there? So when you are being prosecuted, the police will make a decision to take you either to the regional tribunal, the community tribunal, or
there were specific offences.
That went
For
to the
instance,
tribunal.
if you refuse to take part in communal labor, you were sent to the community tribunal.
Okay.
Right? That was an offence at the time. So you were sent to the community tribunal. For people who decided to sell their goods beyond Kalabule price. They were also sent to the district tribunal, dependent on where it happened, right? Now, so these were the structures. And then the PNDC can also decide to refer cases to some of these tribunals. Criminal cases. Okay. And so dependent on the cases that fell within their jurisdiction or were referred to the tribunals then took...
so the prosecutions at the tribunal are also carried under the authority of the Attorney General?
There was a special prosecutor at the time.
Who is not the Attorney General?
Who is not the Attorney General.
So this had nothing to do with the Attorney General?
No.
So this is how it existed
This
before.
is how it existed.
Is that the same way that the new government intends to reincorporate it into our judicial justice delivery system?
We don't know. But this is the thing.
Also, you haven't seen what Cabinet has approved?
No, but this is the thing. This is the thing. If it is the same system, then it's problematic.
But if it's not the same system?
If it is not the same system, it's still problematic.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Now, to begin with, let's look at the Hansard of 2002, 18th March 2002. When Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo presented the court's amendment bill of 2002 to repeal, to amend the Courts Act to have these district and
community repealed.
That's right, to be deleted from our books.
So national is gone by itself.
By itself.
It didn't show up in the Constitution.
That's right.
Regional showed up in the Constitution.
That's right.
And it's still there.
It's still there.
Okay.
But these were repealed.
Okay.
These were repealed
Right.
by reason of the amendment. This is what he stated before Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the operations, I'm reading from page 3479 of the Hansard of 18th of March 2002. Mr. Speaker, the operation of the tribunal system with this panel has been found to be very expensive, with no appreciable improvement in the delivery of justice at the lower level of the judicial structure. In 2001, for example, the sum of 3.3 billion was earmarked for the allowance of 710 panel members, with about 2.78 billion going to 585 community tribunal panel members. There are a lot of delays in the hearing of cases due to the absence of panel members. Appointment of panel members became a problem in some districts. The system of majority decision-making, where lay people can override the views of the trained legal person, such as the chairman, also engender several problems for the coherent development of the law. The pitfall of the tribunal within the judiciary, coupled with public dissatisfaction with its operations, provides further justification for its abolition. So it doesn't provide value for money. It's too expensive, because instead of having one judge administer justice, you have now 3 people who you have to pay.
Okay, I get it. But the more complicated political conversation. So when this was passed by the parliament, it included NDC.
Yes, it included
Alban Bagbin was minority leader.
And
they passed it together.
They passed it together. Because Alban Bagbin, a seasoned lawyer, acknowledged the pitfalls within the system.
So they agreed that it should be passed?
They agreed that it should
be
passed.
So Parliament now awaits the bill?
Parliament now awaits the bill. Don't forget, at the time Nana Addo presented this bill, it was in the course of the National Reconciliation Commission, where we all witnessed some of the atrocities, the injustices that have been delivered to people, unfortunately, by the public tribunal system.
People's properties were seized.
Exactly. So for Ghana, the public tribunal system is like the Holocaust to the Jews.
Never again.
Never again. So why are we repeating it?
That's serious, isn't it?
Yes. It's a byword.
Have you had a conversation with Srem Sai about this one?
I've spoken to the Attorney General. He says, yes, they are bringing the tribunal.
I understand that the president of the bar herself was concerned about it at the vetting of the Attorney General.
And he commented on it. I think she commented
on it publicly. Yeah.
For the Republic of Ghana, it's not lost on us what the tribunal system did, the injustice the tribunal delivered. Now, question is this. Why the difference to any court is its rules of procedure? It is not the law that establishes it that makes a difference. Paul, in this your studio, we can set up a court here and call it the High Court, right? What will make a difference to that court is the rules of procedure. And so if the Attorney General thinks that there's some reforms that should bring speed to the administration of justice, okay, by way of procedure, why doesn't he introduce it in our normal courts? Why does he have to bring this Holocaust kind of system, which reminds us of the injustices of the PNDC? Why? And so if you are going to repeat the old system, it is problematic. If you are going to introduce a new system, why don't you stay with the court? Is it a question of infrastructure for you? Right?
It's speed.
Speed, good. So if it is speed, then it is procedure.
Yes.
If it is speed, then it is procedure.
Yeah.
So whatever procedure you intend introducing in these tribunals, why don't you introduce them? Set up a specialized court and introduce that procedure there.
Well, but now you have to benchmark the procedure against the rights provided under the 1992 Constitution.
again, that is why this is problematic. And
Whether
this
it's
is
going to-
needless.
whether it's going
Because
to survive.
whether you like it or not, this, right, would also have to be benchmarked against the Constitution.
The rights guaranteed.
That's right. That's right. Now, another problem that I envisage, when you look at, is it Article 123 or 125 of the Constitution that says that justice emanates from the people and shall be delivered for and on their behalf by the judiciary? If it's the old structure, then you are going to have a board, right? And not that of the of the judiciary, headed by the CJ. You are going to have a board.
I'm not sure they can do that under the 1992 Constitution.
And so it is going to be administered. It is going to be administered by the Chief Justice, right? Now, why don't you then strengthen the circuits, the district courts, the high courts?
But does the Constitution provide a mechanism for running the regional tribunals in terms of procedure? Does it say that it will adopt the procedure under the Courts Act?
No,
Does it
you
say
see,
that?
when it comes to criminal justice system, it is a Criminal Procedure Act 30.
Okay, so does the regional tribunals, does it say that its procedures will be according to the provisions of Act 30?
It doesn't have to say it. It is criminal administration, criminal justice administration.
It is to be accepted.
It is to be
that
accepted.
they will adopt
That's right.
the procedures in Act 30.
Act 30. Now, if you are going to adopt the procedures in Act 30, why then do you need the tribunals?
They don't like, and I'm speaking for non-lawyers, they don't like what lawyers call the interlocutory applications that require a small matter that has to be ruled upon to be then subject to appeal at the next level. So if you're in a circuit court, an interlocutory is subject to an appeal at the High Court. Then beyond that is subject to an appeal at the Court of Appeal. Beyond that is subject to appeal at the Supreme Court. And beyond that, a Supreme Court review. That's 2 years.
Okay. So the only constraint in such a situation will be if there is an order for stay of proceedings.
Okay.
And so the fact that you have filed an application,
it doesn't mean
it will delay the trial. And whether or not a court would make an order for stay of proceedings is discretionary.
But they are not happy with that too.
But you see,
they want the trial to hurry up.
But you want the trial to hurry up, but it is dangerous. You see, it has to, like you said, be benchmarked against the Constitution.
The rights guaranteed for the people
and
under
so
the Constitution.
that is why discretionary powers sometimes exist. It gives whoever is exercising it the opportunity to assess whether the circumstance is ripe for a particular order. And so the lack of speed, right? Justice cannot be sacrificed for the purpose of speed. We need to make sure that it is in conformity or consistent with the Constitution. And so, in my view, we have to look at this very carefully. It's not going to serve any useful purpose.
When is Parliament expecting this?
Once it's been approved, we are hoping that will be introduced soon.
But when does Parliament rise for the vacation? Do you have a date?
I think the last week of December, prior to...
Beyond Christmas?
No. I think 23rd.
23rd of December?
23rd of December.
Parliament, that's the end of the first session?
That's the end of the first session.
Oh, wow, congratulations. That's a good one.
So,
has it been a tough session for you, this one?
It's not
Appointments committee was tough.
It's not been easy. But primarily, the NDC wants us to fill their numbers. But to tell you the truth, and let me commend the Minority Caucus, I've really enjoyed the debate. The debate has really exposed the NDC with these figures about the inflation, about exchange rate, but the debate has really exposed the budget as not presenting a hopeful future for the people of this country. I commend the leadership of the minority. The coordination with respect to the debate, I mean, discussing among ourselves the thematic areas and so on and so forth. If you watch, you can tell some coordination in there.
The teamwork has been impressive.
It's been very, very impressive. And I commend the leadership of the minority. They've done a fantastic work.
Wow.
And all the members of the minority,
Somebody said that if you listen to your debaters for the economy, Mohamed Amin Anta and Kujopon Nkrumah and Abena Osei-Asare, it will look like the MPP won the debate by 10-0 on the budget.
Oh, no, it's been fantastic.
When is the budget question going to be put? Debate is over now.
I suspect after the appropriation, they will be put together. We are the appropriation bills will be sent to the various committees. We are going to work on them, and then the question will be put as and when the appropriation is laid before the House.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Bafo. Let me take a break now. When we come back, happy are we? We'll be right back.
And we don't know the reason why Afia is here. So I will call Afia Odo Chi Brofu or Kachi Kakra or Kabrofu Kakra. Now, for her to come and tell us the reason why.
So Article 58 of the Constitution says all executive power shall be vested in the president.
Yeah, what does history say why it took expression in the Constitution?
Well, I mean, we have come from that background as a country. The 1960 Constitution was very authoritarian, and it created a lot of power in the hands of the president. And we were not doing a Republican constitution before. We're doing the British style, which is what I recommend for many African countries, because inherent in the British parliamentary system is the firm ground of accountability. The British parliamentary system provides a lot of accountability. The Prime Minister is in Parliament. You can ask him any question. And I made this presentation before the Constitution Review Committee, the Mills one. I've showed that video on television, where I appeared before the Constitution Review Committee and told them that if we don't have the British parliamentary system and we can't create accountability, we should yet create a presidential question time for the president of Ghana. He ought not to come to Parliament just once to give the sessional address and nobody ask him any question and he's gone. There are ministerial question time, but it's important, if we want to balance the scale, to create that accountability, to have the president more regularly visit Parliament on a presidential question time. And I gave the examples then to the committee. In those days, the example also about Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, that we have been in Ghana and we have heard of a guard room in the castle where they shave people's hair. We will never get to know the truth because you can't ask the president. If it was in the British parliamentary system, he will come to Parliament and they will ask, Mr. President, is there so and so there? And it creates that accountability. Now, it will be obvious that the accountability that system gave was great. And that is why successive African leaders in the 60s, who all became despots, took away that system and created a presidential system where power resides in their hands. And so in the Second Republic, Ghana went back to that system. And somehow the coup came, it didn't work. And then in the Third Republic, they decided that they...
Gold is the one holding Ghana now. And because of Galamsey Intina, we were 80 tons per year. After 135 tons. Additional, be brave free Galamsey. So we must be prepared to sacrifice in the fight against Galamsey. Say production will come down. it means that exports will reduce. And then also the issue of employment. Because employment in the Enankodani Bebre, Galamsey. Into Okotia Galamsey, a lot of the young people who currently are surviving with Galamsey would also get unemployed. And those are two consequences.
If we don't fight for the Ghana that we want, we will not get the Ghana that we need. So if His Excellency the President, and I know him a bit, he's a good, nice man. Whatever is holding him, I don't know. John Mama is a good, fine man. His brain is on point. His children are sweet people. I can't understand that he would think of other people's children to drink this water. I don't think the First Lady in her sanity would ever sit down and approve of any of this when one of the people she loves the most has died. Why should the Minister of Lands be raving and ranting as if he's the only one on the street? Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo Yo. Okujato, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother, Robson Dafiamo Paul, you cannot change your mouth. Please, it's not about your party. It is about Ghana. There should be something we should stand for. Sam George said the president can solve this in 1 week. By doing what? Declaring a state of emergency. And that's true. If any president were to declare a state of emergency, nobody goes there. So that's true. That will solve the problem. There's no question about that. That is true. And if you say these things and you come to government and say that, well, we are in government, as you just said, that the turbidity of the water is getting worse under your government, worse than when you said we should declare a state of emergency. At a certain turbidity level, you said declare a state of emergency. Turbidity level becomes worse. You now have the power. And you tell us that you don't want to declare a state of emergency, and we should listen to all this beautiful English being spoken by a lawyer, that we have done this, we have done you and this and that. All that is okay. It's a political question. The acting Chief Justice told the Bar Conference this week that the Galamsey has become worse under President Mahama. Felix Kwacho Fosu, the government communication minister, says he needs evidence of that. He needs evidence of the fact that the situation has become worse. He said nobody has provided the evidence. He doesn't have the evidence. Kolebu Teaching Hospital is reporting things. He doesn't have the evidence. The turbidity of the water from Ghana Water Company, he doesn't have the evidence. These are the matters that is making the politics unbelievable. So this is the situation confronting the NDC. It is true that the state of emergency could stop Galamsey. It is true. The NDC were right in opposition, and those saying today are also right. Now this is the situation. NDC was in opposition, says that the thing is at 20%. You need to declare state of emergency, Mr. President. NDC comes to office at 60%, and they say, oh no, a state of emergency, it will come later. Galamsey, yes, own the politics. Council of State, Mr. President knows, everybody knows the kind of people who are there, that you find the people in there. The executive, they are there. Parliament, they are there. The only place where they are, in fact, even the media, some of them own the media. Yeah. Where's our hope? If Mr. President will not do it, it's okay. I'm tired. I've suffered under every government. You guys can come and punish me. It's okay. Somebody should die for something. Omani, my brother, he died for something. But his own people cannot even make what he died for even count. They are thinking that they've raised 3-something million or 6-something million using government donations and all that blah, blah, blah. To use that to mask and say, I'm thinking of your family. That's the small thinking that you people have. Nothing. Small thinking. You think you give people money and that is it. It's not just for what he wants. He wants you to transform this country. That's why Omani would have been a fine president. Please, we should stand for something. If you're an NDC man and this is happening, talk to your people, stand out. You should have honor. You can't be an MP with reasonability, with mandate, with allegiance to the Constitution of Ghana. And you see this and keep quiet and come and have the audacity to come and even discuss the fact that the president never used the word state of emergency. Nonsense. Do you have a heart? Do you have a heart? Do you have a conscience?
But we just display armor cars on an Independence Day and we go and park the armor cars at the barracks. Why don't you move those tankers to the Galamsey sites and fire in the Galamsey areas and create the military presence? These people, they have been trained to survive in the jungle. Let them live there for the next 6 months. Galamsey will stop. Not a soul will come and dig anything there again. But we have polished the tankers and we are keeping them in the barracks and we say that Galamsey, they ever stop here. And meanwhile, they are poisoning us. Our waters are being poisoned. Every day, we are dying of poisonous water and we are spending millions to treat the waters. Garden eggs, cassava. We are using chemically polluted water to water Kotombre. Very soon, the Kotombre that your wife will serve you, know, there are chemicals in it. If the people are being stubborn, move, troop. Let's show on TV trucks, armored cars, because we don't go to war. All those trucks, they don't go to war. When was the last time we went to war? When was the last time Ghana went?
Happy, are we ready? Go!
Happy are we, studios are we, students of Presbyterian Secondary School. Onward we march, we trot along to happy victory, to victory, to victory. Our motto is a solid bulb of providence along. Illuminate, to feed every Muslim man. In the light, we shall see light. Illuminate, to feed every Muslim man. For Christian training, we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of our country and church. For Christian training, we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of our country. Oh, come along and join us. Oh, come along and join us. Happy studios are we.
Illuminate,
with every Muslim man, with every Muslim man. In the light, in the light, we shall see light, we shall see light. Away, all my sins shall be taken away. All my sins shall be taken away. All my sins shall be taken away, shall be taken away. Beni Yesu Baba, Beni Yesu Baba. Abraham wo kegari, Abraham wo kegari. Ke muchu keifo, ke muchu keifo. Ke awale ke ato, ke awale ke ato. Away, all my sins shall be taken away. All my sins shall be taken away. All my sins shall be taken away. Shall be taken away.
Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. So this is the 2,000-year group of Odadie who are going to shake the town on the 87th anniversary. And the 2,000-year group is 1 year behind Bright Simmons.
Yes.
1 year behind Okujeto Ablakwa.
Yes.
1 year behind Bernard Abele.
2 years.
2 years behind Bernard Abele.
Yes.
1 year behind Michael Essien. No, it's not. Let's Ogade at the other side. So, Mr. Alain Bizo is the president of the Odadie 2,000-year group. Alain Bizo is an IT professional.
I'm still his.
Oh, you are the president. Oh, sorry.
Vice president.
You are the vice president, and he is the
Projects committee.
Who is the president?
I'm the events committee chair.
Oh, okay.
The president is not
Let's do an introduction.
President is not in town.
Oh, he's not in town.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do an introduction. Let's start from the table at that side. So please, from you to introduce yourself and tell us what you are doing now. Should we ask him to say whether he's married or not? We don't want that question.
Professor. We can always add.
But if he's not married, then he has to say whether he's dating. So maybe married dating or married and dating or something like that.
Okay.
Married and dating. No, married or dating, or married or dating, not end.
Lovely. So I'm Andrew A.J. Holmes, Acro House.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm currently a senior research fellow at ISE.
Oh, great.
University of Ghana.
That's book long, pal. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Married.
In the light we shall see light.
We
have
all the light. I'm married with one beautiful girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. But you were dating before you got married. Nickname is important.
Peacemaker.
All right. Okay.
All right. So my name is Norbert Dixon. I'm currently an IT directory engineer and also the CEO of Dixon IT Solutions.
A.K.A. Nordic. Oh, that's a sports people. That's a very powerful IT representation. Okay, next.
My name is John Boateng. I'm a branch manager at Prudential Bank.
Prudential Bank?
Yes.
What house were you in?
House 6.
House 6, Laboni House. Okay, your nickname is?
My name is Eche Sikanku.
Professor.
Prof. Clark House.
Oh, great.
Married.
And you are a professor of?
Associate Professor of Political Communication and...
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let's come to the table. So the microphone. Yes, Butcherman, please give it to us.
My name is George Spencer Kwe, the current chair of the governing board of DVLA.
DVLA. If you have any questions,
my nickname is
Big man.
Snow.
Oh, there was a snow in my town. Were you in Clark House?
Yes, Clark House.
Ah, there was a snow in Clark House.
Yes, there was a snow in Clark House.
Okay. Yes, let's come to
my name is Chatu Choli, Chartered Management Accountant. I am the Vice President of Odadia Y2K. And during my school days, I was called Don Litmus. I work with Woodfields. I used to work with Woodfields.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Laboni House.
Laboni House.
Oh, Laboni House. That's nice.
Yeah, House 6. Yeah.
Chairman.
My name is Alan Biaso. IT. Mobex Africa.
Mobex Africa. He's the founder of Mobex Africa. Yeah. Every year. When is it coming next year?
We just finished one, but next year.
So next year is November.
Next year, yes. Big one coming up.
Yeah,
big one.
Solid. Alan has done a lot of innovation in IT. He's a great guy. He's a great Odadi as well.
Laboni House, House 7.
So House 7?
Yeah.
You moved from Laboni to House 7?
Yeah, to House 7. You know when you become prefect, you're already in 7. But I was in 7 from very early.
I see.
A.K.A. Bia.
Okay, so yes, please.
Yeah, Edward Wallace. I'm into fire safety engineering with EEW Solutions. I was in House 7, and the nickname is
Hedus. So my name is Richard Odamson. I'm a fintech and financial inclusion specialist. I'm also head of innovation IT for Leshego Ghana. I was in Laboni House and House 8.
Okay.
My nickname was...
Okay, let me come with you, Vice President. Yes. So what are we doing? What is the big deal?
Well, so come the 29th, we are celebrating the 87th anniversary of PRESEC. And it's going to start with the speech and prize giving. First of all, we're going to do a homecoming on Friday. Convoy of the year 2000 into the school, be welcomed by the school. And then we're going to have a pre-award on Friday. And then come Saturday, we're going to have the proper speech and prize giving day. It starts at 9:30 in the morning, and we're going to award the brilliant student. In fact, we had 47 of our students getting 8 A's.
Oh, I see.
47
of
our students getting 8 A's.
So, at the WASI?
At the WASI, yes. They just completed WASI, and we will be honoring all of them and the staff. And then we are giving focus to our non-teaching staff, the kitchen staff, the women who've been cooking for us. So we have a special award also for them on that day. And then it's a homecoming for all of us. Some of us, in fact, Nordic is coming from the US. He's been away since we completed school. We have friends coming down, so a good network opportunity for all of us. And then I think we also will talk about the projects that we're going to give to the school.
Let's come to you.
So essentially what we tried to do, we looked around the various projects that could be done, and we thought that, we would give back to both those who work in the kitchen and our student population also.
So we are renovating our kitchen, the old kitchen as you deal with.
Let's look at the photographs of
We are
the project,
renovating
and
the
then
kitchen.
those who were there who can relate to it.
There have been chairs in the dining hall that are as old as 30, 40 years.
The benches?
The benches.
Okay, this is you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, this is
Yes,
us.
yes.
This is
Okay, so you're on the ground.
One of our visits on the ground.
Okay, let's see the next photograph. Another is on the building projects. The buildings. Yes. No, back. One step back. Yes, this one. So this is the dining hall.
This is the dining hall. So
it shares now with the other side, or is it only dining hall?
No, so we have a new dining hall.
Yes.
And then we have the old.
So
dining
both are
hall.
used as dining halls.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but the new one is basically closed.
Oh, it's closed.
We are going to do some work on that one also.
So everyone is coming back to this dining hall.
Yes. Dining hall.
But this dining hall has a capacity of just about
1,002. No, it's they stretch it to 1,002.
So we are feeding 1,000 people per meal at a sitting.
Is it still 13 to a table?
No, 10 to a table.
10
to a table.
Okay, but everyone doesn't eat at the same time.
No, they don't. We are eating.
So if it's breakfast, what happens?
We do it in batches.
So some go for breakfast earlier than others.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
How do they determine the house near?
I think Form 1 go and then.
I think it's based on the year.
Yeah.
So if you are Form 3, you be hungry for a while.
Yes.
So the last breakfast is what time? The last person? 9 o'clock sometimes?
9 o'clock sometimes, yes.
Okay, bring back the dining hall. So what are you guys doing with this dining hall?
So on this picture it's even good. We are changing all the netting. We are redoing the windows. We're doing the guttering system. We are changing the entire interior, repainting and refurbishing it with a new set of chairs.
Oh, that's a
we
lot
are
of money.
doing some plumbing work also, so we could have water flowing closer to them in the dining hall.
There were some leakages in the roof. We are fixing the roof.
Oh, you guys have done well.
The last work that was done on this building, some retrofitting, was in 2016. So this is like real work.
That was done by CB Asante.
Yes, CB Asante. Yeah. So we are trying to now touch that up and up the game. So you will see Presec in the light in which it's supposed to be.
Wow.
And we are hoping that this is the first phase of our project. We're breaking them into phases. So this is the first phase. Then, besides this kitchen, we have our outdoor kitchen, the one we call the Kinky House.
Yes.
We are trying to retrofit that.
Let's see another photograph. Not this one.
No, we decided not. So you will see the picture
There's another one
of the Kinky House as when we do it, but we didn't want to show the state in which it is now.
Oh, okay. So that's the one. Please, if you have another photograph for us,
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll get it very soon.
We're trying to, so we will rebuild that. We want to add up something to the women who work with us, those who work in the kitchen, who serve all these generations of our dad years. So we are going to build changing rooms for them. That includes showers, male and female showers, and things like that. A resting room so they can rest. You'll be surprised when we started this project. Suddenly, some of them come to rest in the place we are renovating.
Oh, I see already.
Just how important a place for them
to rest was. Okay.
Means.
Because they are there till they start breakfast at dawn.
Oh, yeah, dawn.
Yes. They are there till.
And the last meal is 5:37.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and by the time they, okay, I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Days.
So we say that the project we are doing is not construction, it's respect. We want to give them back the respect they've giving us all these years. There are some of them, if you go this, they know you Paul from way back.
I'm sure. I'm sure they see all of us, they laugh at us because when we came to Form 1. When we came to Form 1, they were there and they remember us and they watch TV and they watch the news and see it. But I'm sure they'll be seeing a lot because Presec has been very successful and we are grateful to God for that. Spencer, what are the events?
So, as the Vice President already articulated earlier, on Friday, we are not calling the homecoming. We are going back to the school to visit the various houses and interact with the students. We decided to go.
That's a year group.
That's a year group.
You are going the Friday before the Saturday.
The Friday before the Saturday. We decided to go in a convoy style. So right after that, we will have some.
The convoy you mean with sports cars?
All sort of cars. Our year group is quite large.
Okay.
I think until the recent migrations, our year group were over 600. We were the largest for
600.
Yes, we were over 600.
Oh, but that's
These
days it's
3,000. Actually, these days. But out of that 600, we have real.
You'll be a lot. My year group was 108 or something. So yes, there will be a lot of that.
Okay,
So we will be having that event, and then on Saturday is the main day where we will host the speech and prize giving day. We will also have the church service on Sunday.
Who's the best guest of honor? Is this Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa or the foreign
The
minister?
guest of honor is the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of
Oh,
Ghana.
good.
And then our chairman of the occasion is Edmond Hadome. He's an executive partner of the Adomi Group.
Okay.
Bridgeview Hotel. And then our guest speaker is Okudzeto Ablakwa.
Okay. So he'll be speaking.
Exactly.
All right. So there's a normal speech day, prizes are given. What happens after that? Is there any other event?
Oh yeah, there's going to be a large sitting. That's what we call a Y2K Millennium Party. So there's going to be a big party at the AMC right after. Alumni Center.
Okay.
Right after the speech and prize. Then that one we are inviting the entire
everyone. Is there music?
Oh, there's going to be music, yes.
So this is Saturday evenings.
Yeah, I mean, go from 4
Yeah.
into the night.
Oh yeah.
We're going to boogie down. Yeah, full blown
fantastic.
music. We are boogieing it
And
down.
all our girls will be there.
Every girls.
Yes, our girl ladies will be there.
Our girl will be there.
You know, we are the only school that is allowed to have a wife and a side chick.
How?
So we are. That's how.
So who's the wife? Every girls.
The side chicks are listening.
We have Kobo, we have
Kobo girls.
We have Kobo girls. We have
Yeah.
we have Every
Original,
girls. We have
Every
St. Mary's. We have
No,
the-
St. Mary's is a cracker.
They know we are the
Low key.
The Marys take their position as side chicks seriously. So,
But our girls' school is Every Girls.
Yes.
Official wives are Every Girls.
What about Accra girls?
Yes,
They are coming.
They are also low key. All right. Yeah, you want to say something? Let's
No, I think he already said it. So we have Every Girls coming, and then we also have our geese and Accra Girls and Marys coming as well.
So that's Accra girls, Every girls, Mary's, white
Kobo girls.
White, yes.
They're all coming to the speech day and to the event.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
And it will be duly recognized.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know some of them from way back?
Yes.
Because 25 years ago.
Yes.
And we've maintained
a
relationship with some of
I
them.
mean, just last week, Every Girls had their speech and prize. They are 79th. And we were there.
Oh, you guys were there on the
Yeah,
mountain?
yeah.
Do you remember them from way back?
Oh, yes.
Many of them.
Okay.
Many of them.
And you are having the same conversations?
Same conversation.
Same conversation.
Grew up in Ghana, serving the motherland, for church and country. Yes. Yes.
But some of the conversations have been elevated because sometimes some of the jobs we've gotten is through these wives of ours.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's impressive.
And
When they get the opportunities and then they tell you. Okay.
And I have benefited from that.
By getting a job.
Peacemaker.
Okay, all right. Prof, would you say something?
So we're going to talk about our prominent.
No, the microphone.
Prominent Odadias in our year group.
Yes. It's
So we'll
important.
start with our year group has produced a former Minister of Health. So some of the pictures are there. I mean, the Honorable Bernard Okuboy.
Yes.
You know, former minister.
Go.
My next one is your year group. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have some prominent appointees under the current President John Dramani.
We've forgotten the former director.
Oh, yes. Thank you. The former director of communications under the presidency, President Akufo-Addo, Eugene Ahim.
Kofi Bentu. Yes.
Then we have the current board chair of DVLA, the one and only Spencer Kwe.
Yes.
You know, we are very proud of him. You know, Clark House guy. We also have, so that's his picture here up there, Odadear George Spencer Kwe Jr., you know, for his appointment as board chair of DVLA, you know, taking our places in our country. You know, we've really lived the motto of our school, the foundation that Engman, Clufio, and others laid. You know, we've taken those places. We have Chairman Alain Gbeya. So, you know, this is very prophetic because he was called chairman even when he was in Presec.
Yeah. Co-chairman of what? Oh, he was called
chairman.
Yeah,
that was his name. Yes.
I see.
Right from he's been chairman for life.
For life. And he's gone on to chair a lot of things. Mubex is now a member of the governing council of NITA under the John Mahama administration. And also a board chair of the Bank of Ghana Hospital. A board member. Yeah, board member of the Bank of Ghana Hospital. Yes. And Paul, it will interest you to know that the current CEO of Bayport Savings and Loans,
MD,
is also in our year group.
Yes.
So we have some other prominent members on the screen there. We have Mr. Chachu Choli, Selassie Wanya. Yes, you might have heard about the Diamond Capital. Yes. He's also the CEO, and he's also the board. Actually, the board chair of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, the current board chair, Selassie Wanya. We have Gideon Ayuowu, who is a tax and regulatory partner with Deloitte, Ghana. We also have Kwame Jan.
I see.
Yeah, with Cow Bank. Yes, Fred Ejejan Foster Mensah, who is the general manager, West, Central, and East Africa. Yes. For Metro. Yes. So I would let Beaso mention any others that I might have left out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
We have Jacob Finn, who's the registrar at the Wisconsin University.
Okay.
Christian Sefasmuenu, who is a lead civil engineer with LE Power Limited. And countless number of them in the hospitals. Kwekujima Mwajating, gynecologists, running one of the big health centers. And in the churches, we have some bishops and pastors.
I'm interested in that. Desmond Nye, he's actually going to take over or minister on the Thanksgiving Day. He was my class captain, and I was his assistant, and he is now a minister with the Presbyterian Church. So interesting, he's going to be Reverend Ejejan, Lighthouse.
Robert Tego,
Tagoy.
George, we have Joy FM.
It's also,
it's also in
the business editor.
Yes, the business editor.
He's your mate as well.
Oh, yes.
AKA
Obaya.
And in almost every sector.
What about your teachers? You want to pay tribute? Somebody's texting me, let them pay tribute to their teachers.
Yes.
Yes.
Pola. I just said
Pola was a senior house master.
Pola is watching. I just said it to you. Pola, your boys are on. Thank you for what you did for us, Pola.
Mr. JJ Asari.
JJ Asari. You're in trouble. I said Pola on TV.
I could all call him Pola. When I was there, they didn't call him Pola, but now I call him.
Mr.
Ambrose.
Mr. Pierre.
Fine Arts.
Reverend,
yes.
And then Mr. Boy B.
Mr. Boy, was he still there?
Yes, of course. Hey. And my house, he was my house master.
Yeah. My house master was Malenzi, Mr. Oshie.
What about a great master, the short one? Was he there?
He's still there.
He became a headmistress, headmaster.
Oh, no.
Apiedu was his name.
Yes. No.
You didn't meet him, man.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pepra.
Mr. Pepra.
Abe was there in 2000.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Adoebo.
Mr. Danso Chemistry.
Yes. Mr. Nyante.
You went in 97.
Yes.
98 and finished in 2000. Was it 2 years?
3. So 98, January.
You went in January 98.
Yeah. You check out November.
Yeah. Okay.
Lasso, economist.
Hey, the black cat.
Kote,
the black cat.
Mr. Kote.
He was senior house master.
Yeah, he was assistant 1.
Oh, for the headmaster.
Yeah, when we were there. Yeah.
Dakote, is he still there?
No.
Mr. Akoto, biology.
Biology.
Oh, I see.
Oh, and then our mother, who is now late, Mrs. Champion.
Mrs. Champion.
Of course. English and literature.
So the headmaster at the time was Mr. J.J. Asari.
Yes.
The finest.
Yeah.
The finest.
But Paul, I forgot to mention another prominent one. So they've drawn my attention. Abdul Razak Yakubu.
Yeah, Goldfields.
He's the executive secretary, Goldfields Ghana Foundation. And there's another MP. He needs special mention. He was the Korea boy to Spencer. Spencer was bullying him. So but he's our junior. He said I should mention it. His Honorable Collins Adomako Mensah, MP for Efijai Kwabre North constituency, and former deputy minister of energy.
He was my Korea boy.
Collins
Adomako
Mensah.
Yes,
so we'll be handing over to them next year.
I groomed him.
Oh, you did?
We'll be handing over to his team.
To his team next year.
It was George. George named him Rasta.
I named him
Korea Rasta.
Yeah.
But did you win anything in your time, football or something?
Hockey. The picture is there. The hockey. I sent some pictures to you.
One basketball.
Yes.
Hockey. Yeah.
Besides hockey, I won the high jump championship.
Yes.
I won high jump. Yes.
You won the high jump?
Oh, you won the high jump yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, he was
at Nsako.
Yes.
At Accra Stadium.
Yes.
Oh, you were able to jump?
Yes. I won high jump. I was first
We'll
in
let
high
you
jump.
jump again.
And I was also third in triple jump.
Triple jump, yeah.
That's a hockey team.
Oh, that's a hockey team, yeah.
Oh, that's number 6. Can you do it before and after number 6? And he's sitting right here.
Oh, that's the hockey winning.
Yeah, that's number 6.
That's 6. That's
You
6.
see
Yes.
the
Number 6, he's right here.
Yes.
That's
Number 6, right here.
Okay.
He played goal. He was in the choir for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
And did we win that year?
No,
we didn't win.
I think there was a break.
Were we in the finals?
He lost to.
No,
we're 10. We're 10.
We didn't get to the final.
We lost to. Was it?
Peters.
You remember
And then they went on to
win. They were the
No,
eventual
we
winners.
remember that because of a very peculiar incident. So we were actually leading by 1 point. No. It was tie.
Yes.
And then there was the last
Oko
question,
responded.
which I think at the time the entire room knew it was true, right?
Yes.
And then
The answer was true.
Yes.
The answer was true.
True or false question?
True or
And
false
Oko
question?
answered false.
And Oko
Oko
answered
answered
Then we
false.
go minus 1 and go eliminate.
You see the NPC
What shall we do with this kind of conversation? No, is it Okoboy? The MPP guy.
Sharp guy.
He answered the question wrong. And got preset to lose. Oh my God.
But he did very well. He carried out to that.
Oh, you know the Prior Honey Hall?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
The middle one.
Yeah,
Yes.
So they've been singing at Presec events.
Yes.
Eugene is one of my guys.
Eugene Ban.
We can't wait for this weekend.
Eugene Ban was.
Now that Chelsea have won their game.
Oh, the Blues. The Blues.
Tomorrow, Arsenal will also win their game.
Oh, okay.
So we remember.
Oh, Dompré died?
Yeah, Dompré.
I think
for some years now.
And our favorite photographer,
Oh,
Paddy. I heard that. Oh, I heard he died.
Yeah. I think about 3 years ago.
And then a few of our mates also.
Yes.
Okay, we have to be wrapping it up at this stage.
But last one, the headmaster. We have to thank the current headmaster. He's a great,
His name
Mr.
is
Ojija, who has been very awesome in keeping the school winning. He's won a lot of NSMQ caps since he came, from 2020, and he's done a really great job. And so we say thank you to all of them as well, and the management and board of the school, and of course our global president, Odadi of
Dr.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's somebody who says I used to be part of the football team and I own my own football team in Mexico.
Oh, great. One of your mates.
Yes, one of our mates. We have to follow up on it.
Oh, I see.
They say I should add that the quiz mistress said, "Oh, cool."
You know why it was? Because Oko was the biology specialist of the team. He was the team too.
And the woman knew he had it. So when he didn't even press the bell. Was the other guy? But he said yes, Oko, and then he gave the wrong answer. Oh, cool.
No, but he's made up for it. You know, Minister of Health, most prominent politician in our batch. You know.
Yeah, Minister for Health, former Minister for Health.
The COVID crisis.
Yes.
Particularly as well.
Like a second would.
Yeah, he did well.
Like an Odadie.
But then at the time, both of them were Odadies.
And remember that when he was preparing for those days, he had an accident.
Yes.
And so that was a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah. For the Brilla, he had an accident.
So I remember we visited him at North Legon Hospital. Yeah. He didn't want to stay there, but come back and learn for us. So Oko Boy did well. Opuni from Pong.
Opuni had left.
And Yao Japan.
Star Boys, yes.
Yeah, Japan was
Vodafone.
Yes.
But he is
Osakuto remained. Yeah,
he remained. Osakuto. So the squad was
it was 3 at the time.
I think the 3 were Osakuto, Kofi Nti, and Okuboy. So Kofi Nti is the director of regulation at NCA.
Oh yes, I know him. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he was that day. Oh,
yes, he's our mate as well.
Oh, I see. Okay, viewers. So we can't wait for the weekend. We are all going to be at Presec Legon from Saturday evening and up to the Thanksgiving service. Where's the service? At the school? Yes. Okay, yeah. At the school campus. A last video. Okay, should I let them play? Okay. So let's play the video.
Everybody must buy this.
Let's play the video that you have, producer, please. Okay, it's coming.
3 seconds on Daddy Ghana. Are you ready? The Blue Magic is rising again as Presec Legon celebrates 87 years of unstoppable excellence. This year, Presec and the Odadie Global Association presents the electrifying 87th Speech and Prize Giving Day under the theme Celebrating Our Heritage, Shaping Future Leaders Through Discipline and Academic Excellence. The date, Saturday, 29th November. The time, 9:30 a.m. sharp. The venue, Presec Legon Ceremonial Grounds. The chairman, Odadie Edmond Ahadome, executive partner, The Adome Group Limited. Guest of honor, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Opare Kwache. Moderator, General Assembly, PCG. The guest speaker, Odadie Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Minister of Foreign Affairs. And this year's mega celebration is proudly powered by the unstoppable Odadie Y2K Group, the torchbearers of the Blue Flame. Come witness the energy, the brilliance, the heritage. This is Presec. This is excellence on full display. Oh, come along and join us. Presec at 87. In thy light, we shall see light.
There we end. All right, so that's it for Good Evening Ghana. We can't leave you without the anthem. Happy are we? Good night.
Happy students of Presbyterian Secondary School. Onward we march, we track along to happy victory, to victory, to victory. Our motto is a solid block of propping us along. Illuminate, to be the famous lumen. In the light, we shall see light. Illuminate to be the famous lumen. For Christian training we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of our country and church. For Christian training we get a sure solid foundation to take our places in the future of our country. Oh, come along and join us. Oh, come